Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed looks set to secure another term. The election comes at a critical juncture as Africa's second most populous nation faces economic pressures, security challenges, and unresolved regional tensions. Our chief Africa correspondent Jennifer Zabasajja joins us now from London to unpack the story. Jen, was this election really ever in doubt, and what does the expected result out of this tell us about the future of Ethiopia's political landscape?
Well, Abiy, the short answer is no. There were many people who were saying this was a foregone conclusion even before the voting started. And part of the reason is due to a few factors. If you take a look at the opposition, it had been fragmented over the past few months and year. There's also been concerns just about the domestic situation and security concerns and unrest. There's also been logistical challenges, which inevitably meant that a number of constituencies were deferred from actually voting. So that was part of the concern there. But it just, again, speaks to some of the challenges that we are seeing with Ethiopia domestically and also regionally. Domestically, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has been at odds again, renewed tensions between him and his administration and the TPLF, which is an opposition party. There's also been renewed fighting between armed groups in other parts of the region. And it's not just domestically. Regionally, Ethiopia has gained a few more tense tense relationships between countries like Somalia. There's also Eritrea. Ethiopia has been concerning countries like Egypt as well for the building of a dam that we saw open last year. And then there's also complications with the war in Sudan. And so there's really concern about just the political situation in Ethiopia and what that has meant really to any sort of peaceful democratic election. So that's really the context for what we were getting into this election with. So largely a foregone conclusion. Now really investors are paying attention to what happens next with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's new administration.
So with his new administration and with his upcoming term or expected term, what are the personal challenges that he would be facing?
There's quite a few that investors are paying attention to. If we take a look at inflation, it has climbed. We've also been paying close attention to what has happened with the Ethiopian birr, which is the currency. And so investors are really watching for stability coming into this new term for Prime Minister Ahmed. There's also the continued talks with bondholders that have really stalled any negotiations with the IMF. That has precluded the country from moving forward and at least stabilizing some of the economic woes that they had experienced in the past few years. So those are some of the downsides. On the positive, though, we have actually seen the new securities exchange launch last year, which many investors were applauding. And so we are seeing some progress there. And Prime Minister Ahmed also relieved the state, a number of state monopolies. And so there has been a bit of progression in terms of the economy within Ethiopia, but really investors are looking for stability and reform to continue in order to feel confident that it is moving in the right direction despite some of the challenges that it's facing domestically and also regionally.